everybody, this is Mayenne. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for everybody who has been subscribing and being so kind to watch some of my videos. And I am just a super nerdy, excited stitcher. That's kind of what I am. And I love doing the full coverage pieces. I guess that is really my passion. But I try to do a lot of different projects, and but doing full coverage is really what I enjoy doing. And this piece is called Christmas Fairy Magic. Let me just pull it out so you can see it. I have it here. Oh, that's too close, right? Oh, and anyway, so it's charted by Charting Creations, and instead of this, I will just take a picture of it and show you. So with this one, I am done 12%, and I'm doing this on 25 count Lugana, and I'm working full cross 1/1, and yeah, that is kind of what I do. As you can tell, I am working on the diagonal with parking. That is just what I enjoy doing at the moment. Sorry, I have a little bit of a hard time. I'm trying, if you see this weird setup I have with the camera and light and all that stuff, you'll be like, really? So it's really hard to get the camera in the right position and get it all to look nice, and so you guys can tell what I'm doing. I only have my iPhone to film, so and it's kind of hanging over my cross stitch piece, so that might not be the best setup. And if I bump the camera, I'm really sorry about that. Yeah, so right now I'm working on color 38 and 49. I use Pattern Keeper. Is this right? What am I doing? Okay, I'm going back. Can't really tell what I'm doing. At the moment, I'm working on how many full coverage? I'm not even sure. I don't have as many as some of you guys. I've seen some that have, I don't know, more than 100, I think. I'm really amazed how people are just how many projects people are working on, and I think that is so impressive. I don't think, well, I could maybe do it, but then I won't get anything done on those pieces. So what I do, I kind of have my favorite pieces that I just work on the most, and yeah, and then rotate through them. But let me tell about this one. So this is called Christmas Fairy Magic, and the colors are beautiful. They are all greens and blue and remind me of the ocean. The colors are just gorgeous. And I think they are, how many colors in all? Maybe somewhere between 85 and 90 colors. which is not that a lot actually, or it might be quite normal actually. I think the Heaven and Earth designs have around that number of colors for the regular chart, and then they have you know, max color. They have and max color is it's over 200 colors, and then you can have, I think I have one piece that has 125, so not quite max color, but really significant number of colors. But I feel that about 90, up to 90 colors is really enough. Well, since I haven't worked on anything else, but in terms of getting the colors out there, and you know, it seems like 90 colors is quite a lot to, or enough to get all the details come through. So I think that's right. Anyway, so the way I'm kind of stitching is I stitch on the diagonal, as you can tell. This one I've started the upper right corner. Some I start upper left corner. I tried to start one in the lower right corner, I think, but I don't know, it didn't really work out. I didn't feel the flow wasn't really there, so I think I switched it around to the upper right corner instead. And since I'm left-handed, it just seems like the upper right corner is a better place to start, kind of. Ooh, this one has a lot of stitches, so that's great, this color, so I'm running out. Anyway, so I work, like I said, diagonal, and within a 10 stitch grid or 10 stitch area, and then I go all the way down the piece. And if that means like changing up the Q snap, I'll do that. I don't do it page by page. I rather prefer to do it like the whole diagonal from top to bottom of the whole design. So that's what I'm doing. And then I pick within the grid on the diagonal, and then I kind of work on that area. So 10 by 10, but on the diagonal. So, and then I kind of just do all those colors that are in that 10 by 10. And if it's then used, if I have more thread and it's used in the next 10 by 10, then I park it. And here you can tell I go a little bit outside my diagonal just because it's just a few more colors. And if I go out of the diagonal, kind of prevents me to get these column lines, which I did have problems with on one of my really big family pieces. It's like a crest, my husband's crest, that I was working on, and unfortunately I got the diagonal lines. Now it's hanging up an old frame and you can't really see it, but yeah, I had a lot of diagonal lines on that one, unfortunately. But so that's why I'm trying to kind of go a little bit out of the diagonal if I can see that the colors continues in the next diagonal. Okay, so now I am just marking my on pattern keeper And then as you can tell now that done that color, and I still need to do this area here and that area there to do that 10 by 10 grid. So I am picking, so what I do is I take the lowest part color in that 10 by 10, because when I then, you can tell down here, okay, my next one would be then here, right? So when I then work on that one, you can see, if I work on that one, stitch whatever I need to stitch, and then park it down there, then that won't be in the way of the other colors. So I've found that works better for me to do it like that. Yeah. Okay, I need to find my next color. It's going to be 598. It's not on that one. So I think I've shown you guys this my organizer, the one I made myself. I can't show you here, it's too close up, but I can show you later. All right, so but these colors are so gorgeous. They really, really are. And I like this piece actually because it's not that confetti heavy, or it doesn't seem to bother me that much. That I mean, there's tons of colors, right? But it doesn't seem like there's that much confetti in it. But all right, so when I start a new thread, what I do is I go down in the piece about 10 stitches or something away from it, and then I go down where I want to start, and then that's not right. I go up where I want to start, then I go down in the same hole, and then I go up in the opposite hole, and then I kind of make a loop kind of thing. That just helps to get it more secure, and that's been working okay for me. There are so many different methods of starting and ending threads from the front when you don't want to turn your work around, which I don't really want to do. Yeah, so this is what I'm doing. I use a Q-snap, as many of you guys do. And for this one, and then I have it on a stand. And this one I have on a C-stand. So it's on a table. And this one you can use either on a table or in your lap. And I really enjoy stitching on this one, especially when I travel, because you can kind of pack it all together, so it doesn't really take that much space, and it's pretty easy to travel with. Okay, so now there's only these two down here, and then I will end this thread. Let me see, I need to see if it's somewhere else close to this one. Actually not, so I will end this thread. So same thing actually. So before I end the last leg, I go down in the same hole, then I go up where I would to, opposite to end it, and then I put the needle through that loop and kind of then secure it then a bit, Then I take it all the way down, and then I am just ending it like, just like that. Okay, mark that one off. Oh, missed that one. So I use all my thread. So if the thread is in good condition, if I have extra pieces, I just put it back on my organizer. It's really easy. And if it's frayed or things like that, then I'll just throw it out. All right. The next one is 3851. Also blue or blue-green. So I'm actually going to be traveling a month. I'm going to go to Denmark. I live in Switzerland, but I have started working now for a Danish company, a law firm in Copenhagen. Well, I'm a consultant, you could say, which means I go up once in a while to Denmark and just, you know, go to the office and meet with colleagues and things like that. And then the rest of the time I work from home. And I'm a paralegal or legal assistant, or so, and I work on estates. So estates, finishing, you know, when somebody die and you have to do the whole estate afterwards to make sure all the heirs get what they are having, and the creditors, and they have anything to be sold, houses, cars, whatever, then I take care of that. So I've been working for this company only almost a year, and but because I live in Switzerland with my husband, it just made sense to start my own little company here, and then just have that law firm in Denmark as a client. So yeah, so that worked out really well. So they are very nice colleagues I have there. I'm very happy with that job. And also when I go to Denmark, I can visit my son and daughter-in-law and Molly and Bella, my grandchildren. So Molly is 3.5. Little Bella just turned 1 yesterday. Oh my gosh, she's so cute. So they sent us a little video of, in Denmark we have this, or maybe not in Denmark, but in my family we have this little tradition that you've been woken up, the birthday, you know, baby person, child will be woken up with like a birthday song. We have a Danish one that we sing, and Molly, of course, being 3.5, she was so excited to be singing for little Bella. And well, they were sitting at the table, so they didn't wake her up, but they were sitting at the table, and little Bella had been eating banana with Nutella, so chocolate, so she had chocolate all over her face. And so Lisa, my daughter-in-law, and little Molly started singing, and Gabriel too, my son, while he was filming. And Molly just, she was so funny. She just loved it. She didn't know all the words or anything like that, but that didn't really matter because she was just singing as loud as she can. And little Bella was just sitting there and just staring at them while eating her banana. And then she started clapping. It was so cute. She loves songs, so whenever somebody is singing, she claps. That was so cute. Yeah, so I'm going to go up there and visit them. So I'm not staying at their place, but I'm staying at my dad's. He has an apartment, so I'm staying there, and my husband's gonna come along as well, because he can just he can work from there. He has his own company as well in Switzerland, so he can work from anywhere. So and then we'll just visit family. I have a large family in Denmark too. Like I said in my previous video, my mom just passed away, and but my dad is there. He's very active. He's doing really well, and so I'm staying at his place, and so that will be nice. So I'm not gonna be in the way at Bella or at Lisa and Gabriel's. All right, so when I go into the next diagonal and when I am parking, what I found was that when I just park it in, and maybe this is just me, and maybe it's just happened a couple of times, but when I park it just in the first hole, you know, where I'm coming up, I have once in a while other threads or something will pull on that, or you know, so I've just experienced that then somehow that it will become loose or something. So I just started to park just to finish the first leg, and then park in the first part of the second leg. So I kind of just make a half cross there, and that works out fine. So I just park in the other corner, and you know, Pattern Keeper is so great. So you can in the settings you can just change it so it will park in yeah, you can just change it to where you want it to be marked as parked. All right, so I'm just gonna take care of these little guys, and I like to use this scissor because it's curved, so it's easier to get really close to the piece and not well, I'm a little bit afraid that I will stab it or, you know, make holes in it, so that's why I do it like that. All right, so 503, there's just 2 stitches there. Needs to be done, and then I can go down a diagonal, and then you can see how or go down to the next grid, and then you can see how I do that. So I hope I'm not making any mistakes. Seriously, I can't really see what I'm doing because the camera is right above the piece, and I'm kind of sitting on an angle to stitch. So I'm not. Maybe I forgot to finish a cross stitch with the second leg or something. Maybe you see something I forgot to do. Anyway, okay, so this one, so those 2 are done, and that needs to be part here. Which is actually on the next diagonal. Okay, mark that off. And then I will just separate the threads, the ones that I'm not gonna be using. So those one goes to the next diagonal, and then I am just putting that in this. Well, okay, let me do that later because I can see my hands are enormous. Okay, that one. Good. So next, little grid, 10 by 10 grid. I hope my fingers are not too in your face. So this color is the lowest I have on that grid, 10 by 10 grid. So I'll start with that. There was somebody on YouTube who did this, and I was getting so crazy with all these colors because, all the part threads, because they went away and it was just really, really bugging me. And then I saw somebody who did this, and I thought that makes so much sense. So this is actually then going into the next grid, so I will park it there. Yeah. The next one I have is, ooh, that's a light one. Is that the one? Nope, that goes into the next. This one. Oops, tangle, tangle. All right. So I had a long break from not cross-stitching, but filming YouTube videos. And I don't really know why. I watch so many YouTube videos. I just love it. I mean, I can even have videos just going in the background of me doing whatever and just listening to people just talk while they stitch. I don't know, there's just something comforting about that. So, and I have a few that whenever they have a new video, then I'm one of the first ones to watch it, because yeah, I'm just excited to see whenever they have something to show or something. And yeah, I really enjoy seeing people's progress, and I enjoy seeing Stitch with Me's, especially the ones where people talk, because it's nice to hear people, their thought process, their speaking a little bit about their life and stuff like that. All right, so this one actually needs to go up further, so I will, there's some stitches up here, so I'll just park it up there and go to that in the end. Yeah, so I love listening to people talking, because it's so nice. We are just normal people, all of us, right? And it's just so nice to hear people talk and all that. Okay, what is this? That one is there. All right, so the one about, these are almost the same colors. So this one. Yeah, so as I was saying, I had such a hard time getting into filming again. And I know, I mean, my last video now was maybe more than a month ago, and I really want to get into some kind of rhythm or something, just to have either a monthly update or something like that, just to show everybody what I've been working on, right? But it just takes me forever to decide on doing them, and then I always have to figure out, how do I do this? How do I set up the camera? How is the angle? How is the quality? You know, I really want to do a good job making these videos, and yeah, I don't want to, you know, I want to have people look at it and you know, not being, what is she doing? So that's why I haven't really done that much. And then, like I said, I started working again, and there's just so many things that has happened in my life that I really didn't get around to doing some more videos. And not that I've started a lot of new projects, or not a lot, but I've started some. I mean, I'm just thinking about other stitchers who I mean start something all the time, and which is just amazing. But so compared to that, not that many, but I still have started a few new projects without really finishing anything. Well, that's not true actually. I did finish something I showed last time, my Da Vinci lady. She's finished, and I really need to frame her still. But over Christmas, last Christmas, I did make a little pillow for my son who lives in Canada, and for my husband, and I might show that because that was kind of my own design. That was kind of fun to make. So I will have my son send a picture of it so I can show you. So I finished those two, and then I did not finish anything else. But I am also not only stitching, I am also sewing and knitting and crocheting, and I used to do some chalk paint as well. I'm so painting furnitures. I did that. I started that while we were living in Canada at the time, and I really got into that. I love doing that. It's just basically just painting furnitures. There's nothing else in that, but the type of paint that is used is called chalk paint, and I found this brand called Annie Sloan. She's British, and so I've been painting some of the furnitures we had back then, because we had nothing and we moved into first a furniture department, and then we moved into a house, and then we needed to get some furnitures, and we didn't have any because we had just only had that furnished place. So I just started, you know, collecting stuff from it's not called eBay, but in Canada they have a site called Kijiji, I think it's called, and where people just sell all their stuff or give it away, or you know. So I just found a bunch of furnitures there that wasn't in the best condition, and then I just decided, hey, why not paint it? So that's what I did, and all those furnitures I then brought back from Canada when we moved here about 5 years ago. Oh gosh, time flies. I can't believe it's been 5 years ago. That's just crazy. Yeah. Yeah, so like I said, I have a son living in Canada. He is engaged to this wonderful girl, Shan, and they are having a baby in December. So that is so exciting. And then they're getting married May next year. So actually they first got engaged and announced the wedding date, and then they couple of months announced afterwards that they were also gonna become parents. So I'm so excited about that, and they're gonna have a boy. So I'm gonna have 2 granddaughters and a little grandson. Yeah, and they live in Calgary, so it's pretty far away from Switzerland and from Denmark. And with the time difference and everything, they seem like they're very far away. I always have to time it really well when I want to speak to them, because they are 9 hours after us, or maybe 8 or 9 hours after us. So yeah, that's kind of far. Just need to do these one. So I've only been stitching blue, I can see, and green, blue, green this whole time. So this is just the, you know, upper right corner. So there's a lot of the blue and green here. But there is, the images appear now with these little angels. You can see one of them, I guess, in the screen on camera. So so it's nice to see that something else is appearing. But the blue and green colors really don't bother me to be stitching a lot of those, because they're so beautiful. They just have this, I don't know, calming effect on me. Weird, right? Okay, then here. So this is the last one in this 10 by 10, and it goes down here. But this thread is so tiny, so I'll just stitch this one and then I'll close it off. So again, when I start my first leg, I go down in the same hole, go up opposite into the little loop, and down the same hole again and end it off like that. Oops. Uh-oh. My scissor was sitting on this magnet, and it kind of moved the whole frame when I wanted to take the scissors off. So that is that. I will just mark off on pattern keeper. Yeah, I'm already been filming over half an hour, so I think I will just close this off for now. And I would really appreciate if you like what you see, if you want to subscribe to my channel. I want to do some more of these stitch with me, and I know for sure I'm going to do more of the, you know, showing my progress on some of the pieces, or all of my pieces. And I just need to figure out if I'm going to do it monthly or weekly. And, you know, now I'm going to Denmark for a whole month, so it's not going to be until I get back from Switzerland that I'll be able to film again. But for sure, I'm gonna bring this frame to Denmark. I'm gonna bring a couple of projects with me, because I can't really not stitch. So whenever I have time, I will make sure to stitch. And yeah, because I love it. All right, thank you so much for watching, and wish you a great day, and take care. Bye bye.